What's good, y'all? It's cold, rainy, windy, perfect day to go take a walk through the garden with me if you're interested in that. You can listen to me talk, and also probably you'll get a lot of wind noise. It'll be really fun. So, also you get to make fun of my gay new hat in the comments if you'd like to. I think that would be fun. Let's do this thing. Okay, I'm gonna start from here because I kind of wanted to orient folks. I know it's kind of not super clear like how this sucker's laid out. Here's a little panning situation. And you can see there's a bunch of different beds. And then I'm gonna go through them from here, and then I'll probably wind my way through like that. Starting with what I'm trying to get started as a bunch of snapdragons, but this like invasive buttercup is a real bastard. He's kind of taking it over, so I guess I'll let him duke it out, and I need to edge this with some sort of rock or something to keep the grass back. Also, you'll notice I need to cut the grass. I literally cut it 2 weeks ago, but it's spring in the Pacific Northwest, so the grass grows half a foot every week, roughly. Okay. Hopefully it's not too windy. We'll start from here. Arugula. These are onions. There's peas going to be along pretty much all of the trellises. Some of them are these little tendril tree peas, which are really fun. And then some of them are normal. Radishes, turnips, radishes. These are about ready to be picked. These are French breakfast radishes. Pretty tasty. They're mostly acting as a trap crop right now for all the fucking wireworms that I have, so I just sort of keep radishes going in the hopes that they'll go into the radishes, and then I can pull them out and throw them in the compost bin, or the robins and stuff will come and eat them. This is some really, really sad basil. I overwatered the heck out of it. I'm hoping that being in the dirt, I overwatered the heck out of it when it was started in pots, and I'm hoping that being in the dirt it'll recover, and we'll actually see some green foliage. Who knows? It's pretty bleached. That back there is a mixture of mache and tatsoi seedlings. This is some rapini that is already bolting on me, so I'm gonna go ahead and say that's not gonna make it. And then this is the last of my purple sprouting broccoli. I've harvested a ton of this, and basically as soon as these plants come out, I'm probably gonna put more in there because they're supposed to start seeds in June. So some of these I could probably pull. I don't know. They produce pretty well though. It's very tasty little broccoli. This is all little baby spinaches. And these are little baby bok choys. You can see them there and there. They're gonna be purple bok choy. I've just planted this chard that I bought because I failed to get seeds foolishly, so I bought some starts for a couple bucks. They'll get pretty big, so I'll just put the 2 here. Various forms of lettuce that have just been kind of hanging out here. And then the 2 little green things in the back are ground cherries, which are fun little tiny husk. Not quite tomato. I think they're technically related to tomatoes, but they're like little sweet, kind of like a tiny tomatillo. But anyway, they're delicious. These are kale starts. This was where my kale forest was. Sorry for the noise. Hopefully it's not too bad. This is where all my kale was, but it got blown over by this beautiful wind that we're having, so I pulled it. And oh hey, look, I didn't realize he's receding. This is what's it called? Ranunculus. So I'm trying to march the kale back. I want it to be all the way back here at the end, because if it's anywhere above here, it shades everything behind it out, because my sun goes from here to there. So this is, I believe, south facing. Yeah, south facing. Sorry, I had to do math. Which means like basically bigger plants need to be in the back. Snapdragons, which I'm very excited about. These are black snapdragons. Put those in last year. I didn't realize they were perennials, so they stuck around. Behind me I have a potato bed which needs to be covered up. They're starting to get pretty big already, which I'm very happy with. You'll see a lot of garlic throughout the garden. I planted, frankly, way too much. But it's a fun, you know, it stores well and we eat a lot of garlic, so it's enjoyable. I got two kinds. I have a hard neck and a soft neck. I want to say, it's hard to tell yet because they haven't started throwing their scapes off, but I'm pretty sure this is the soft neck and this is the hard neck, because the hard neck has been a little bit smaller. I can't recall. Ooh, sorry, greenhouse got blown over. This is what I'm hoping will become a fairly goth looking garden bed here. So I have the red stuff as amaranth, and that should get really big and have these like fun droopy spears of basically a grain. And then more black snapdragons. These are going to be black hollyhocks, and then I have another amaranth tucked back there, so that should come up huge and create a very fun layered like goth thing. And then these little green things are black pansies. Admittedly, when I was designing this last year, I wasn't envisioning all this garlic that I was going to put in it, and I just stuck it there, and now we'll see if I live to regret that. This is more kale. It bolted in its first year, which was disappointing. It's supposed to go 2 years, but I planted it kind of, I want to say like midwinter, so it went through the cold, and I think that's what triggers it to bolt the next season. So whatever, I'll plant more. It's kale. It grows like a weed here. No big deal. We'll check out the greenhouse later. Oh, this is rapini. This is kind of fun. I let it go to flower. I let a bunch of stuff flower, including the kale that was over here, because I kind of wanted to see if I could like train the pollinators to come back here. And I left this guy to flower, and it's seeded, which is neat. It has all these seed pods. You can see that all over these little fronds. And those will get a little bit bigger probably and then dry out, and then I can technically harvest them for rapini seeds, which is fun. Because that plant did actually produce, and it was pretty tasty. Alright, next bed. This is where all the herbs are. So I've got a variegated sage, got regular sage. These are all 2-year-old sage plants, so this one is starting to flower, which is kind of fun. I've just recently learned that sage flowers are edible. So I'm gonna try, I don't know, I might try pressing it into like some focaccia or something. It seems like a good time to me. Parsley, oregano. I have so much oregano. This was one tiny little plant last year, and everyone was like, oh my god, oregano gets so out of control. And I was like, what are you talking about? My plant is so tiny and sad. And then this year it was like, get ready. Wow, piece of tree just fell out. This is cilantro, which is probably going to bolt on me soon, judging by these little, starting to get these little frondy tips. So I'll have to harvest all that soon. And then this is parsley. I actually pulled like 2/3 of my parsley out. I don't know what I'm going to do with it, but I just wanted to thin it out because it was crowding everything, and I don't really care about it that much. Like, nobody needs this much parsley. No one in the world. Peas, peas, peas. In the middle here, I've started some little carrots. I just started them a few weeks ago, so they'll be a while before they look like anything. And this is some more chard. The little rows of sprouts are, I believe it's pronounced Chijimsai, but do not quote me on that. It's sort of like tatsoi, but taller, I believe. So it'll come up with those little spoon-shaped bok choy tasting leaves. They're pretty good. Don't look at my grass. Okay. And then in this other bed, this is actually arugula, which is fun. Take a look at, if you can see the flowers. I really, really like the flowers. I've let it bolt. It's no longer edible. It's extremely spicy and bitter once it's bolted. But again, trying to attract pollinators into the garden, and I want to collect some seeds because I really liked this arugula variety. This is not the kind you get in the grocery store. This is like legit British rocket, I think. It has way bigger leaves. Okay, well, if the dogs are gonna get set off, I might have to start this over in a bit. We'll see if they calm down. Looks like they're chilling. Okay, I'll just cut that section probably. Maybe not, I'm too lazy. Anyway, started some more cilantro here. You'll see like, there's a lettuce. There's just some stuff that's random here from like last year. Like that whole big green thing in the middle there is a lettuce. I just didn't know that was gonna be there. But it came out this beautiful butter lettuce that I can now eat off of, which is fun. And it's got weed. You never stop weeding. These tall frondy boys, not frondy boys, I don't know, whatever. These are salsify, which I'm pretty stoked about. That's a root. It's got kind of a sweet, nutty flavor, if I recall. I didn't actually think they were going to do well here, but they look fairly happy. And then this, I learned, is celery. I thought maybe it was parsley, and then I took a bite out of it and I was like, oh god, no, that is definitely celery. It's a lot more like, I wonder what this is, and then trying it and discovering that it is not what you wanted it to be than I expected in gardening. But yeah. And then this is chamomile from reseeded from last year, and I thinned it considerably and it looks a little bit unhappy that I did that, but chamomile is kind of dramatic. I think it'll figure it out. Beets, little tiny beet seedlings in the middle. There's quite a few of them. I love a beet. And then I put calendula in a lot of the corner beds, so like, so I get focused because they're really beautiful. Check that flower out. Aren't they pretty? They're bright orange, like Day-Glo orange. But there's another variety that I'll show you in a moment. And then peas. And then the last run here of the raised, no, well, I guess I have 2 more raised beds after these, but of the main raised beds, we'll call them. There's some more calendula. There's some beets kind of in the middle there, and then all of these are bunching onions, some of which are starting to bolt on me, which is a little weird, but I'll pull them and use them as probably like spring onions. This is some more garlic. These are all hardnecks. They're not doing as well in the back here. I think we get a lot less light and a lot more damp, so not the best environment for them, although the onions seem to love it. Here are some random carrots from, I tried to seed them, I want to say in the winter, and it didn't take, but apparently a couple did. And then these little tiny sticks are leeks that I didn't think were going to take, and actually they seem to be doing okay, so that's fun. So hopefully I'll get some decent leeks. Here's the other one. Oh, it's got some dirt on it, but look at how pretty that flower is. That's a strawberry blonde calendula, I think. Came out gorgeous. I knew they were gonna, but I'm just very pleased. Here's some more baby carrot sprouts, and then these are some carrots that I started a few months prior. So obviously you can see a difference, right? This is kohlrabi. It's not doing super hot. I feel like it's been in the ground for like 2 or 3 months and it hasn't done anything, so what's up with that? And then this tall thing is mustard, which I didn't really care for the leaves. I mean, if you've had mustard leaves, they're kind of a lot. But I wanted to seed because I want to try to ferment the seeds and make my own mustard, which seems fun. Some more of that pretty calendula. This one's not as dirty, but the camera doesn't like it. Well, it definitely doesn't like my whole freaking hand in the way, but there she is. Anyway. And then this is, I believe, a rooted parsley, which means it's a parsley variety designed or cultivated specifically for its edible root. I think all parsley, the whole plant is edible. Don't quote me on this, but if it's related to carrots, then the whole thing should be edible, because I know you can eat carrot tops, but you just typically don't because they're not super great. So the leaves and the root should be good on this guy. And then these little things are shallots. They come up looking kind of like aliens. That's a single shallot. I planted a few of them just to get them to see how I like them. They're pretty fun. I don't know if I was supposed to separate them or something, but I just plunked them in there. I probably did it wrong. Here's like the remains of Brassica madness over here. I pulled all that kale and some of the mustard, and there's quite a bit. And then over here I have some tomato starts that I am hardening off so they can go in the ground. Probably in a week or 2, we'll see if the weather warms up. It's been pretty cold and wet, but like it's the Pacific Northwest. More garlic all the way in the back, and I've just tucked a dill. I've been trying to get dill started back here for a while just because this is like, I don't know, it's a part of the garden I don't really spend a lot of time on, and dill is supposed to be pretty weedy once it gets started, so I put a little fennel plant in there. It'll only produce one fennel bulb, but like my real hope is that it will attract pollinators, because supposedly it's very like, they like it for some reason. Maybe it flowers. It should actually get pretty big and like fern like eventually. And then I already showed you this bed. Yeah, let's check out the greenhouse. A little bit quieter in here. Some new things for the greenhouse. I got some heating solutions in not installed, but I put them in. I put a floor in. Did this myself. It's just pavers on top of some paver sand, and then I sort of like roughly leveled them off. It's pretty decent. It's a lot better than no floor, frankly. And then I put this gravel in. It's kind of like a French drain or whatever, but not really, frankly. Anyway, I got heat mats, a little heater with a thermostat. Keeps it 45 is I'm just trying to keep it from getting too cold. I don't think it's really running anymore because it's not been that cold at night, but through the winter it let me start things earlier. And then my pepper plants are kind of hiding out here, waiting to go outside. I got a few varieties. These are, I think, mostly ones I've started. Pretty sure I've started California Wonder and lipstick peppers, which are both a sweet pepper, and then I picked up a bunch of hot peppers, and then I also started these are weird Peruvian ají peppers. They're super hot but delicious. And then these are some of the hot peppers I picked up, like jalapenos and whatnot, and then some extra onions because I put too many in the ground already, and I didn't really know like nobody. I can't have a whole garden full of onions. So I guess I'll figure out what to do with these at some point. These are like the leftover leeks. Maybe I'll give them away. Probably just give them away. Anyway, that's my garden. Thanks for bearing with me through the wind. If anybody has any ideas on what to do with a lot of parsley, let me know, because I have just so much. Anyway, we'll see you next time if I do another one of these. I guess like if you want me to do more of these, don't like if you don't, and blast me for my hat in the comments. Bye.